Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The world awoke to a seismic shift. News from the Philippine Department of Environment and Natural Resources had changed everything. Overnight, what seemed like an ordinary day became a turning point in history, as headlines flashed across every screen and whispers of something monumental spread like wildfire. On August 28, 2025, a quiet press release revealed a discovery beneath Palawan's turquoise waters. The announcement was understated, but its implications were anything but. Not gold, not oil, something far more vital: rare earth elements in quantities that stunned experts. These minerals, essential for everything from smartphones to electric vehicles and advanced military technology, had suddenly placed the Philippines at the center of a global scramble. The Philippines, long defined by its culture and challenges, now sat atop a geological jackpot. For decades, the nation had been known for its natural beauty and resilient people. But now, it was the focus of international attention for a different reason. The find promised jobs, wealth, and a new place on the world stage. Hopes soared that this windfall could transform lives, lifting millions out of poverty and fueling dreams of a more prosperous future. International headlines blazed, markets trembled, world leaders scrambled for details, investors rushed to adjust their portfolios, and governments convened emergency meetings to assess the impact. Suddenly, the Philippines was a strategic player in the global resource game. Nations that once overlooked the archipelago now sought alliances, eager to secure access to these precious materials. Every move Manila made would be watched and analyzed. The world's eyes were fixed on the decisions of Filipino leaders, knowing that each step could shift the balance of power. For Filipinos, it was a moment of pride and hope. Could this be the key to a brighter future? Families gathered around televisions, sharing excitement and cautious optimism about what this discovery could mean for generations to come. Conversations buzzed from Manila's coffee shops to Palawan's fishing villages. In every corner of the country, people debated the possibilities, their voices filled with anticipation and concern. Could this fund better schools, hospitals, and infrastructure? Could it finally bring the progress so many had longed for, building a nation where opportunity was within everyone's reach? The nation stood at a crossroads. This hidden wealth could build a stronger Philippines, or become a source of conflict and corruption. The choices made now would echo for decades, shaping the destiny of millions. The world was watching, and the stakes had never been higher. Every negotiation, every policy, every word from Manila was dissected by analysts and diplomats worldwide. The promise was immense, but so were the questions. How would the government manage this newfound wealth? Could the environment be protected? Would ordinary Filipinos truly benefit? Would this be a blessing or a curse? The answer was far from clear, and the nation braced itself for the challenges ahead. The Philippines had entered a new era. A sense of possibility filled the air, as if the country itself was waking up to a new dawn. The first chapter of this story had just begun. The future was unwritten, and the next steps would determine whether this discovery would unite or divide the nation. The world held its breath. In homes, offices, and palaces across the globe, people waited to see what the Philippines would do next. The Philippines was ready to turn the page. A new story was beginning, one filled with hope, uncertainty, and the promise of transformation. The discovery lies in the deep waters west of Palawan, extending into the contested South China Sea. Scientists confirmed a massive field of polymetallic nodules, rocks rich in rare earth elements. The concentration is unprecedented, a geological anomaly. This could meet a significant portion of global demand for decades. For the Philippines, it's a chance to transform its economy and assert its sovereignty. The location, partly in disputed waters, adds a complex geopolitical twist. The country now holds a powerful card in international negotiations. Globally, this find could break the world's over-reliance on a single source for critical minerals. Technology and defense industries see hope for a more stable, competitive supply. The quiet waters off Palawan are now the center of global attention. The stakes have never been higher. Rare earth elements, 17 unique metals such as Neodymium and Dysprosium, are often called the vitamins of modern technology. Just as vitamins are essential in small amounts for our health, these elements are crucial in tiny quantities for the devices and systems that power our world. Despite their name, rare earths aren't actually scarce in the Earth's crust. What's rare is finding them in concentrations high enough to mine economically, making their extraction a complex and challenging process that often requires advanced technology and expertise. These remarkable elements are the hidden force behind everyday electronics, powering smartphones, laptops, flat-screen TVs, and countless other devices that have become essential to our daily lives. They're absolutely essential for the miniaturization of electronics, enabling devices to become smaller, faster, and more efficient. At the same time, they're driving the green energy revolution, making renewable technologies more powerful and reliable. Wind turbines and electric vehicles, for example, depend on the powerful magnets made from rare earths. These magnets are what make electric motors lighter, stronger, and more efficient, helping to reduce emissions and promote sustainability. Without rare earth elements, the global shift to clean energy would grind to a halt. Solar panels, wind turbines, and other renewable technologies would lose their edge, slowing progress toward a greener future. The defense industry also relies heavily on these elements, using them in advanced alloys and sophisticated electronics found in fighter jets, precision-guided missiles, and high-tech drones, making them vital for national defense. Because of their strategic importance, control over rare earth supplies is now seen as a matter of national security, influencing global politics and international relations. The recent discovery in the Philippines could dramatically reshape the global landscape for defense and technology, offering new opportunities and shifting the balance of power in critical industries. This breakthrough isn't just about unearthing metals, it's about unlocking the future, fueling innovation, and enabling the next generation of technological advancements. From cutting-edge healthcare equipment to industrial automation and robotics, the impact of rare earth elements is felt across every sector, touching nearly every aspect of modern life. As global demand for these critical resources continues to soar, the Philippines now stands at the forefront, holding a key to the world's technological and economic future. The world is watching closely as this new guardian of critical resources steps onto the global stage, ready to shape the next era of innovation and progress. For decades, China dominated the rare earth market, controlling over 90% of global production. This monopoly gave Beijing immense leverage, even using it as a political weapon. The world's dependence on a single supplier became a strategic vulnerability. The Philippine discovery changes everything. A new major supplier enters the market, one that isn't China. This could rebalance global supply chains and forge new alliances. Countries seeking alternatives now look to Manila as a vital partner. The Philippines offers the world something it's craved: choice. A new era of competition and stability begins. This discovery's roots stretch back millions of years. An ancient tectonic plate, Pontus, was subducted beneath Borneo, creating unique geological conditions. Volcanic eruptions on the sea floor deposited mineral-rich nodules. Modern geologists, using seismic imaging, traced these origins and targeted the area west of Palawan. Their detective work led to the jackpot. The story is a triumph of science, linking Earth's ancient past to today's opportunity. The Pontus plate's legacy is now a national treasure. The wealth of the Philippines was forged over eons, waiting for discovery. Science and history have converged to change a nation's fate. The ghost plate has finally given up its gift. Turning theory into reality took cutting-edge science. Philippine research vessels mapped the seabed with advanced sonar, revealing vast nodule fields. Remotely operated vehicles descended to collect samples from the ocean floor. The nodules were sent to labs in Australia and Germany for analysis. Weeks of anticipation followed as scientists tested the samples. The results exceeded expectations. High concentrations of rare earths, cobalt, nickel, and manganese. The most valuable heavy rare earths were abundant. The scientific process, from ghost plate theory to lab confirmation, was complete. The evidence was undeniable. The jackpot was real. The hopes of a nation had been validated. The world took notice. The Philippines had struck gold, of a different kind. The newly discovered deposits span two key areas, one located firmly within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, a region recognized by international law as under Manila's jurisdiction. This zone, stretching across vast blue waters, is now at the heart of a geopolitical transformation. The other area lies in the highly contested waters of the South China Sea, where boundaries blur and sovereignty is hotly debated. The first area gives the Philippines clear rights to explore and develop resources, offering a rare opportunity for economic growth and national development. The second area, however, overlaps with the claims of China, Vietnam, and Malaysia, making it a flashpoint for regional rivalry. Here the stakes are higher. as multiple nations eye the same lucrative resources. The strategic map of Southeast Asia is being redrawn before our eyes. The mineral wealth not only strengthens the Philippines' legal claims but also enhances its position in international negotiations and regional politics. This newfound leverage is likely to spark a surge in diplomatic activity as countries seek to secure their interests and form new partnerships. The Philippines now has a unique opportunity to build stronger alliances and assert its influence on the world stage. In Manila, government officials are already strategizing, aware that these resources could shift the balance of power in the region. The country's leaders must navigate a complex web of negotiations, balancing economic ambitions with security concerns, yet the contested zone brings significant risk. China's sweeping claims overlap the richest fields and maritime tensions could escalate quickly. Naval forces from multiple countries now operate in close proximity, increasing the chances of confrontation. The South China Sea is becoming a chessboard of power, where every move is watched and every decision carries weight. The treasure map is also a map of potential conflict, and navigating it will require careful diplomacy, restraint, and international cooperation. As the world's eyes turn to this region, the Philippines stands at the center of a new global power map, its future shaped by both opportunity and challenge, and its actions set to influence the course of international relations for years to come. The Philippine government responded with ambition and caution. President Santiago formed a special task force to oversee the resources development. Experts from geology, economics, and law are crafting a national strategy. A new legal framework, the Strategic Minerals Act, will create a sovereign wealth fund for education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Strict anti-corruption measures and independent oversight are built in. Internationally, Manila seeks a broad coalition of partners, avoiding over-reliance on any one country. Environmental safeguards are a priority. Mining is years away, pending impact assessments. A temporary moratorium on exploration permits is in place. The approach: seize the opportunity but do it smartly and transparently. The nation aims to ensure this wealth benefits all Filipinos. The Philippines stands at a historic crossroads. One path leads to prosperity, jobs, and technological advancement. A domestic rare earths industry could transform the economy and lift millions from poverty. But the risks are real. The resource curse, corruption, and inequality loom. Sudden wealth can destabilize institutions and deepen social divides. Environmental dangers are profound. Deep-sea mining threatens marine biodiversity in the Coral Triangle. Onshore processing is notoriously polluting. The Philippines must pioneer sustainable technologies and enforce strict standards. International conflict is a constant threat with overlapping claims and military competition. Asserting control requires diplomacy and a credible defense. The nation's destiny depends on balancing profit with peril. The choices made now will shape the Philippines for generations. The world is watching as the nation writes its next chapter.